I've been on both sides. The friend just going with the flow, wondering why everyone's so stressed out, and now working every day towards the insanely high standards I've set for myself this year. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm under more stress than I've ever been in my entire life, but I'm also the happiest I've ever been too, thanks to the lessons I've taken away from my own laid-back friends and my carefree days as well. Sorry to hurt your feelings, but look, I don't care if you're starting a YouTube channel, you want to be a director, a professional athlete, whatever. No one cares, not as much as you do. If you have a bad game or your first few videos are trash, you think everyone's secretly judging you, but everyone's too caught up in their own stuff. I promise, they don't even remember a week later. Even the friends not doing nothing ain't paying attention like that. And that really killed my fear of failure, because it's not failure that we're really afraid of. It's actually the judgment from failure. And once you realize you're only the main character in your own life, failure becomes a lot less stressful. FOMO is huge. This is probably stressing you out more than anything else. I know it was for me. But here's the thing, you're always missing out on something. Always. Because in order to say yes to something, you gotta say no to something else. And that's what I love about the party people. They got it down to a science, and I love it. They know they can only really pick one party to go to. So wherever they go, they gonna make sure it's lit. They gonna make certain that that's the scene to be at. And it should be the same with wherever your ambition is taking you. Like when I'm spending Friday night scripting, Saturday night editing and uploading, there's no place I'd rather be. Like, doing my thing is way more dope than going to some party, because impacting lives, reaching new audiences, it's just way more fulfilling to me. Also, perspective, that's important too. For my younger audience, there's always gonna be more parties and kickbacks to go to. But this thing you're pursuing, chances are you have a short window to make this thing happen. Which is why it's important to be around mutuals. Law of attraction, right? In my opinion, no one does this better than the chill friends. The way they just be vibing their way to meeting 20 new people in one night is crazy. I've never seen nothing like it, but I finally realized why it happens from watching it time and time again. It's because being around like-minded people with similar interests, similar goals, it's like an energizer. The reason you feel so lonely is because you're stressing over 15 different things while hanging around people that don't even remember how they got home last night. Like, takeaway number 3, they live in the moment, which is good to an extent. Not on the level they do it, but if you're anything like me, you're probably on the other extreme. So focused on the future that you forget to live in the present. Little word of advice, you chose to climb this mountain or cross this desert, and it's not gonna be easy, but it'll be a lot easier when you focus on the path in front of you. I'd be so focused on crossing the desert that I wouldn't even enjoy the oasis. That's something I'm doing more of, just enjoying the steps along the way. Last thing you wanna do is reach the end of this amazing journey you're on and realize you didn't even appreciate it. Acceptance. Going with the flow has a lazy feel to it, but it's actually a high performance skill, and it's something I still struggle with from time to time. So the harder the goal, the harder you gotta be on yourself if you wanna achieve it, right? And I feel like with that comes the need to wanna control everything. But nothing burns energy and time like trying to fix something outside of your control. Learning to accept, adjust, and advance has been critical for me, removing a lot of stress from my journey here on YouTube. I've put out what I feel like is my best video, only for it to be outperformed by a lower effort video on more than one occasion. But sometimes things just work out like that, and if there's no adjustment to be made, learning to just focus on the next one rather than stressing over it for days has brought me a lot more peace. Alright, quick recap. No one cares. No one cares. I know it's hard to accept, but trust me, everyone has their own junk going on. Remember that most embarrassing moment you had? I know I've had a few. What's funny is probably no one that was in that room at the time remembers it, or at least thinks about it as much as I do. And it's the same with your moments, because they're too busy thinking about their own embarrassing moments. Fear of missing out. You're always gonna miss out on something. You can't have it all. I've tried. So use perspective. This thing you're chasing right now is probably more important than missing out on some parties or kickbacks. If it's not, then slide to the party. Just make sure it's a decision you don't regret. And the biggest way to minimize regret is by living in the moment, not to their extreme though. Plan for the future, but focus on the present, because with each passing moment, the future becomes the present and the present becomes the past. And learn the high performance skill of going with the flow. Look at your party friends, can't nothing ruin their night. If something goes wrong, they're either gonna find a solution or keep it booming. Wasting energy and time on things out of your control is a phase I recommend that you skip. Alright y'all, that thumbs up puts this video on other people's recommended, so if this helped you out, it could help someone else out too. And if you made it to this point, what are you doing? You're already a part of the community. Just subscribe, come on now. Alright, that's my last one, whatever YouTube thinks you like the most. Mess with me on one of those or another one. This one's over though. I love y'all, I'm out.